That is the real cyclic, by the way. That's not a fake one, dude.
Factory Hell Zone.
What I think is going on is I think he's so pissed at himself for hacking the 2 levels that he's just gonna lie about hacking everything.
We have to
He
watch
said he hacked or cut them all,
Let's watch.
and that the streams he made
Let's watch them back.
were all pre-recorded. No, it cannot be real. I've been competing with a hacker the whole time.
Hey guys, today I'm going to be talking about ㅡㅡ and the whole situation, and I'll also be presenting every single piece of proof that goes against what ㅡㅡ has said, and basically just presenting everything in a factual manner.
So this video is basically going to cover everything in the Tosh drama. This is a complete video of everything we know and think about this situation. We are going to present the facts as we know them, allowing you guys to choose how you feel about them.
What we just saw was the videos of when popular players were officially exposed as hackers. Some pretty popular picks for players having been exposed would be Cyclic, Nubes, Andromeda, N-Level, Not2Fly, Tosh Deluxe, and etc. These players were usually exposed to their biggest achievements, examples being the levels demonstrated here. Cutting a video or speed hacking to some extent was usually involved when hacking these levels. Many of these exposals are pretty well known to the community and have remained as past memories for many players. It is taken in and held as ways to learn how to spot the next potential hacker that could be around the corner. It would appear too that at least a small portion of players will always remember the exposal of said players. If you were targeted as a hacker and confirmed as such, it would be remembered indefinitely. There is, however, one hacking scandal standing above any other and will probably always remain as the most damaging hacking scandal the game will ever see. To my surprise, not many seem to remember this. Some haven't even heard that it happened. Traces of this hacking scandal can be seen even to this day, as many such traces have been left behind. Endless old levels by unnamed green users, rated levels having mysteriously vanished, and a mysterious user by the name of Team Hacks posting a ton of comments in all levels. But even among those who knew of the attack that went down, not many of them can answer many questions of what actually happened. Because of this, the entire scenario have always seemed cryptic and mysterious, as there's not too much beneficial documentation regarding the hacker attack. Today, however, I am here to present all the facts and events that occurred during the hacking scandal in March 2017. It will be demonstrated from my own perspective, therefore some events will be interpreted as I see them. This is the video detailing the hacking community known as Team Hacks, and the events that followed upon the team's creation. It began with creating and organizing Team Hacks, where the basic idea of the team came from Simner 12. The idea was to unite all the people in the community that knew how to program exploits in Geometry Dash or other more elaborate applications. The purpose of the team was to focus on creating tools for the game that would in general be useful things to the community. A private Discord server was set up for the team, having figureheads such as Absolute, Kazedo, Pavlukiban, Pizza Roots, and Mgo's IH. The structure of the team was arranged in a specific way to ensure that inappropriate members would not get access to exploits that could potentially harm the game in the wrong hands. There were 3 ranks: Student, Member, and Admin. Student was the lowest rank and were not permitted to have access to exploits and dangerous findings. The member rank would officially state you as part of Team Hacks and would allow you the same privileges for exploits as the admin. The only difference with the admin was standard Discord features, such as kicking and banning users. With this idea in mind, a wide array of different tools were created, such as copy hacks, object limit, and etc. This was around the time when Geometry Dash had small updates at a consistent rate, updates such as 2.1, 2.101, and 2.102, all the way up to 2.113. Not only were these updates made to fix bugs coming from a new update, this was also RubTub's attempt to counter the exploits that were created at the time to ensure common players couldn't cheat or hack the game. Many of these attempts were pretty insignificant, however, as it didn't take the team long to bypass RubTub's fixes. But in the end of it all, RubTub gave up trying, and today it is now very common to see big names use an exploit of at least some kind, whether it be through playing or creating. New tools came out from the team frequently, but people in the team also wanted to dig deeper into the game. They wanted to push the game's limits, test the servers, and see how exploitable they are. The team attempted to reach out RubTub himself regarding the exploits and figured it would be best to do so through Viprin. They reached out to Viprin and he contacted RubTub regarding the team's foundings, but RubTub treated the team with very low level of respect. Despite the team's best efforts, RubTub never allowed direct contact with any of the members in the team, and it was restricted to Viprin's private messages only. RubTub was offered help by portions of this team to improve the security of the game, but he did not agree. The team did not give up though, as big figureheads of the team, such as Pavlukiban, Absolute, and Kazedo, attempted to contact RubTub through email. They all received replies, but only ever through personal email, since RubTub's support email appeared completely unmonitored. The type of emails RubTub replied to were the ones directly addressing server issues, bugs, or exploits. Absolute proposed an idea to RubTub about compiling Geometry Dash with symbols to help the modding and hacking community. But RubTub dismissed the idea, citing on how the system could be abused, rather ironic given the events that were to follow in the coming months. From that point forward, Absolute's attempts at contact through email were ignored during early 2017, as were everyone else. Nothing regarding the found exploits were dealt with until the disaster that occurred in late February till early March 2017. Before mentioning the actual scandal that occurred in 2017, it is worth speaking about the infamous agenda Anaban. The Anaban agenda was created by a player named XXOT1XX, outside of Team Hacks entirely. In popular belief, Anaban was the one who supposedly hacked the game in any way he so preferred. But in reality though, Anaban wasn't quite as powerful as portions of the community would suggest. The exploit used by Anaban was found by another player named Skivlin, aka S the Haxer. He had discovered that you could request a password reset to an account, take the password reset token from the game's database, then log into any account you wanted. During early November 2016, Anaban used his exploit to reset passwords, change usernames, update levels, leaving account comments, but most notably, deleting the first level RubTub uploaded to the servers. The level had the ID 130, which only one level in the uploaded user levels had a lower ID. The day after the exploit was patched, Anaban was still able to log into certain accounts, such as Riot's, and update the level Bloodbath to use as his departure message, stating that he would never return. The message at the end displayed the following: "Hacking this game was fun, but this is the last time you will hear from me. Some will be happy, others might not be. I just want to say one more thing. If you have a dream or a goal that you might have thought to be impossible at one point, don't give up on it. Achieve that goal. Goodbye, Anaban." With the Anaban name floating around in the community at an ungiven time, so now ex-Team Hacks members went crazy with the exploits they managed to acquire and abused the hell out of them. It is unknown even by Team Hacks who truly caused the most damage within the scandal. It was alleged that two players by the name of Venom and Fluffy CQ allowed the attacks to happen and were kicked from the Team Hacks Discord server. It is unclear how much those two had to do with the situation though, as there were many anonymous users involved. Fluffy CQ is thought to believe that he had leaked exploits at one point, but it is uncertain if that was ever proven. There were a number of different exploits used during the hacking scandal, and they all served different purposes. These exploits were the following: SQL injection exploit and account merging exploit. Before discussing what these exploits implied, there are some acronyms and terms that need to be explained. One of these acronyms is something by the name of UDID, which stands for Unique Device Identifier. To put this simply, a registered Geometry Dash account is defined by an ID, and this account is represented on the servers through that ID. Before the ability of registering an account was possible in the game had unregistered green accounts. For an unregistered user, their account was defined through their mobile device's UDID. And UDID is used by technology companies such as Apple to verify mobile devices for their database, which RobTop kindly borrowed for account identification in Geometry Dash. The SQL injection exploit was used by Team Hacks and involved a problem with the getGJ levels page and was found accidentally by PizzaRoot. The original intent was to gather the UDIDs of unregistered accounts for the purpose of updating a level that PizzaRoot didn't have access to anymore. After some time, a different user discovered that the saved data is accessible this way as well, and as such, this is how the password leaking exploit was born. Pavlukivan also found other exploitable fields in the same page, and it provided read-only access for the database. During this exploit, a dump of UDIDs was made so that any unregistered player could be merged into any registered account. This data involved, for example, comments and levels, which is why you can see Team Hacks comments in all levels pretty much everywhere today. This exploit is what was used to gain access to RobTop's and other registered accounts. While the SQL injection exploit was fixed only a day or two after it was found, the fundamental problem of the password being stored in plain text on the server was not fixed until a client update in November 2017. This same update added the weekly demons feature into the game. The account merging exploit allowed anyone to merge two different accounts together as long as you knew the password of the target. This exploit was based on the same unregistered account merging mechanism as the SQL injection exploit. If you sent an account ID as the UDID to the server, it would actually merge the account into yours without checking if the source is already registered or not. This was theorized by C. Volton when implementing the account merging mechanism into a Geometry Dash private server, which confirmed it to be working. The same evening, a different person ended up making a script that merged all registered accounts plus all unregistered accounts from the UDID dump into the Team Hacks account. There was never a tool that gathered passwords at a massive scale, but the save data of roughly top 600 players from the main leaderboard was downloaded before this exploit was cut off. It would seem that some of the bigger names of Team Hacks was not made aware of anyone attempting to get passwords from these accounts, suggesting the struggle of keeping everything contained safely within the team. Both these exploits were patched shortly after they were found. PizzaRoot, Absolute, Kazedo, Pavlukivan, and potentially others all sent emails to RobTop regarding the exploits after the damage was already done. Some additional server bugs were also discovered after, which RobTop fixed after being made aware of, such as the null character bug that broke Geometry Dash's parsing. RobTop was quite quick to fix these exploits, but did not reply to any other inquiries about other security patches recommended by Team Hacks. RobTop only replied to the comments regarding exploits that had been used in the attack. It does seem to suggest that RobTop did not consider fixing anything that wasn't an immediate pressing concern. The following events occurred within a specific timeline, spanning across 27th of February and 7th of March 2017. Important events will be listed and explained in order of oldest to newest, each of varying importance, but each having their own relevancy. Approximately 1 to 2 weeks before the two exploits will be patched out to some extent by PubTub, a stream was hosted by someone named the Haxer27, or Coden alternatively. A day before this, PizzaRoot had streamed on Twitch hacking the game using the same exploits the Haxer27 would use. This stream, however, was harmless, as all PizzaRoot did was reclaiming an old user account that belonged to him. Using the account merging exploit, it was used to combine the green user account with his registered account. The Haxer27, on the other hand, was more devious and wanted to put on a show with the tools at hand. In the stream, the Haxer27 would be using the stream to publicly hack accounts with an audience. The hacker proposed ideas for the chat on what his next targets would be, whether it was to hack a famous account, delete any rated level, leak upcoming level projects, or other types of mischief. Inevitably, a lot of accounts were obliterated, especially the famous creators Manix and Chromal. Some demon levels were deleted permanently, such as Skrillex's Party by Nether. Many unreleased levels were leaked to the public, with Fusion Seth being one of the prime examples. The hacker showed no signs of ever stopping, but after many reports for the streamer's suspension, Twitch themselves eventually banned the hacker and the stream was stopped abruptly. If you were to check Twitch today, the account The Haxer27 still exists, but has remained unused for over 3 years. The last stream that was done on the account states that he was streaming Geometry Dash, with a live stream title of Hacking Accounts. The stream that was done back in March 2017 cannot be found again, so checking what specifically happened is impossible. Because of the stream PizzaRoot had done the day before this, misconceptions arise where people believed that the Haxer27 was PizzaRoot. This was cleared up by PizzaRoot himself on the Geometry Dash forums 2 days after the stream. With the stream terminated, the Haxer27's party was over. As mentioned previously, a UDID dump was made, gathering a bunch of them from unregistered accounts. With this dump, a script was run that merged all known green accounts into the Team Hacks account. The UDIDs are not shown anywhere by the game, but they were gathered using the same exploit that we used to gather passwords. However, the script severely spoofed when doing this, and told the server that all of the green users linked to Team Hacks were logging in at the same time. If a registered account is already in place, it deletes the green user account altogether. This causes the levels and comments from the green user to be merged with the registered account. This caused all green accounts when merged with Team Hacks to be destroyed, and there was nothing Robtech could do in hope to fix it. Any green user account that was merged with Team Hacks was unrecoverable, lost forever. The Team Hacks account can be seen in many old level comments today, which is the result of green user accounts from 2014 to 2015 being wiped out, never to be restored again. Most of the green accounts today are now unrecognizable, with many having a simple dash as their name. Some players involved in the hacking scandal even managed to get away with stealing green user account levels, still having them to this day, which for the purpose of this video shall remain anonymous. As for registered users, all of their data and levels were stolen and transferred onto the Team Hacks account, with many notable names in the community being wiped from everything they achieved or created. Across multiple days, not all accounts would be fixed immediately, as the biggest names such as Viprin and Michigan were restored first, which will be relevant to this story later. There are some speculations that levels were also accidentally removed from the servers completely during the recovery process. An immediate example would be Roadbos, who at his creating prime had approximately 50 to 60 levels uploaded, but only has around 10 levels left today. Most of Roadbos' remaining levels are either rated today or have been rated at one point, improving their chances of survival. Any other level of his have disappeared for good, such as the restored projects listed here, which all belong to one green user and was deleted by a hacker according to Robos himself. Whether the account merging exploit is the cause of the level removals is unknown. This situation brought the biggest creation team at the time, Team N2, to quit the game entirely for a long period of time. On 1st of March 2017, the team's Geometry Dash account was hacked and renamed to Hacked by Auroras. The leader of the team, Repo, explained how the future of the team would unfold and why 2 days later. RobTop on the surface appeared to fix hacked accounts incredibly fast that were relevant enough in his eyes, such as Michigan and Viprin. The entire team got the impression that they were not well known enough for RobTop, hence he ignored fixing the team's account. It was not until Viprin had gathered a list of hacked usernames and presented it to RobTop where Team N2's account was finally fixed. The slow speed from RobTop would motivate the team to disband, with Repel, Luneth, Cosine, Zelda, Xanthic Alpha, Cyclic, Ryan LC, Motu and more leaving Team N2. The team did wish to finish the 4th level, Master Spark, that they had begun creating, but it wouldn't near its finishing stage until late 2020. While the team has to some extent been reassembled since then, it would take years for the team to return to the game. Once the hacking scandal had calmed down, and most of the repairs were complete by RobTop, the passwords of accounts that had not changed since the hacking scandal were still available for anyone that collected it. A big number of files were leaked and posted in the Team Hack's Discord server, involving banned IP addresses, tables and columns of the data structure, and etc. Assuming that any account that has not changed passwords since then, there's potential someone has that account's password to this day. There were no exceptions to this. The team was able to gather any password they wanted from any account, including RobTop himself. During this time, it was possible to see a lot of mischief coming from different users in-game. This mischief typically involved inappropriate words or name changes, botted comments posted by famous users, and changes to in-game interface text globally. It is unknown who did what with each account, but it is safe to say that within the good side of Team Hacks, no malicious intents were present. As a result of this incident, old user accounts such as Neptune, Black P2 is Full, Timeless, Roadbows, and Jax are now potentially owned by impersonators. Some proof of this being the case involve an official documentary posted on YouTube by Regilock in July 2019. In this video, he discusses how he stole the account Timeless Real by a hacker on Twitter that posted a text comment forum that showed a ton of accounts under the hacker's control. One of these accounts were Timeless Real, which had the password listed next to the username. Which hacker this was that posted these passwords publicly is unknown. A lot of minor things occurred during the hacking scandal as well, such as Robos' account being merged together with Powerbomb, giving Powerbomb the ownership of all of Robos' levels. Strangely though, it would appear that this was Team Hacks' undoing, and was an accident that had happened entirely. Kazedo repaired and restored Robos' account, which ended up with 3 of Robos' rated levels to belong to an unnamed green user with the name Dash. The damage of the account merging can still be seen to this day. Another occurrence was that the ability to delete your uploaded levels was limited in the game after the attack. Before March 2017, it was possible to delete any uploaded level that you had, regardless of it being rated or not. With the Hacksters 27 stream showing how much damage that could be caused with demons being deleted forever, RobTop updated it slightly so that it was impossible to delete a level if it was rated, or if the number of downloads on the level were above 1000. While many accounts were hacked and stolen, RobTop's registered account was the most influential account that was butchered. The team managed to get hold of the save file, which led to the unfinished versions of Fingerdash getting leaked to the public. Players were able to get one of the versions of Fingerdash through RobTop's laziness to not remove the current version of 2.1 from Geometry Dash World in December 2016. But the save file contained way more versions, over 30 different versions of Fingerdash, along with different gameplay tests regarding new 2.1 features and a number of animation tests for sprites. After the exploits had been patched out, RobTop's account was fully restored and remains functional to this day. So, in the end of it all, who is mainly to be blamed for all of this? The answer to that will be no one. Whether it be RobTop's lack of respect, incompetence and ignorance, the predatory nature of certain team members, and a lack of responsibility from parts of the community cheering hackers on, there's too many uncertainties. To this day, there are still many anonymous hackers involved in a charade that got away with everything they did and will probably never be caught. RobTop fixed the exploits, and it is safe to say that an attack like this would never happen again. This attack solidified itself in this game's history as the biggest hacking scandal it had and probably